Floor 6, The Hunting Grounds. Class selection, a legal drama, an early attack on Zakow, and learning about the Butcher's Masquerade. Hello, crawlers, and welcome back for season 5. Season? Are we calling these seasons? I don't even remember what episode this is. This is episode 18, I guess, technically. And we are on book 5 of the series. We're starting our very first episode on it.
This episode can buy cigarettes.
Hey,
and
it's
it can
legal,
vote.
baby. Yeah.
It can vote.
But I don't think it's ready.
No,
It can go to war, but it can't drink alcohol.
right. The important part
Call your
is
congressman.
the cigarettes.
Yeah. Okay.
We are going to be talking about book 5, which is called The Butcher's Masquerade. This is going to be our first section on that. We are dealing with chapters 1 through the end of 9. So hopefully you did your homework assignment and read that. And up top, we just want to say that with next week's episode, it's going to be chapters 10 through 19.
Yeah, at the end of 19.
We had to figure out an appropriate place to stop, and we decided we're going to stop at the end of chapter 19. Hopefully that works well for you guys.
For those of you who know, you're welcome.
Yeah. For others, you're about to be welcome. And I don't know if we have to introduce ourselves at this point, but
I'm John.
I'm Grant.
And I'm Martin.
So I always put the names down now at the bottom beneath us.
Good.
So
Saves time.
we don't have to introduce ourselves, but some people might not watch.
Some people might go Jehon. So this way they know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I do look like a Jehon.
It starts with a J, but it's pronounced Rubio. And we also wanted to give a quick shout out to our Patreon. If you guys want to help support this little show, we're not doing any ads or anything else, as you can see, but we do appreciate you guys helping support us. We're an independent little podcast, and you can help support us over at patreon.com/hellocrawlers. I don't know what I did there.
You did arms.
I did little chicken arms. Independent. I don't know what that is. Help support us at patreon.com/hellocrawlers. We also do some exclusive deep crawls for you supporters, as well as at the end of this episode, we'll kill a few of you off. You'll find out what that is if this is your first episode. We're about to just dive right in. We talk about these linearly, and we talk about them through the lens of the audiobook series. We all listen to them, and we all highly advocate that you also listen to them. They're a delight, and reading in your own head is going to pale in comparison.
Yeah, if this is your first time and you haven't been through the series before, start over at number 0.
Uh-huh.
We'll get you primed up and ready to go.
Yeah. And we have one show note before we jump in, and that is that we just got to do an interview with Matt and Jeff.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah, those cool guys.
Yeah.
The fact that they would even take time out to do that interview makes them cool.
I mean, they got to hang with us. You know that's a pretty high caliber person that gets to hang with us.
Ugh.
Well,
Yeah.
we're a hot commodity.
Yeah. I don't know. It might have taken down their ratings. So.
They've lost a lot of cool points.
You guys are doing our show? I thought you were cooler than that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Matt and Jeff. Have you seen the comments? People hate us. I don't know what you're doing. But anyway, check that out. Give those guys lots of love. I hope if you are enjoying our podcast, maybe you'll check out this Dungeon Crawler Carl series. Actually give it a read. Can you imagine if people start with us? And then they go to, like, there's a book about this? What are you talking about? That sounds so cool.
I don't have to pay for the audiobook. You're going to tell me what happens anyway.
I'm going to really talk about every damn detail. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and jump in. We start book 5 with a bit of a surprise, and that is Carl not starting right up in the floor 5 world. He starts in the Desperado Club manager's office, facing Orin again.
Back to the vice principal's office.
I am thrilled by this because I kind of love his voice. Like, I kind of love what
Orin?
Jeff does as Orin. Like, that voice is just so good.
Yeah, he has. There is. I'm like, I probably shouldn't like Orin, but there's some charm to this guy. To I think both how he's written and how he's portrayed, that he feels like a guy who knows better about all of this stuff, and he's kind of tired of the shit. And he's trying to advocate, like, look, if you guys even want to try and like retain the rest of what you have going on, kill off Carl.
Yeah.
He's a danger.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm trying to just get them to kill you, but they won't do it. So, all right, let's have the discussion, Carl.
Right. Yeah, it seems that Orin, you always get a feeling that Orin knows best, but he doesn't want to do what's in the reader's best interest.
Right. And he's always just like half a step behind Carl. You know, he's not quite like you expect that character to be like 2 steps ahead of no, he's like just half a step behind.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he doesn't feel dumb, but he feels like he overthinks. Like that we saw in the previous interaction about the cat toy bomb. He was like, I think you did this and this and this. And it's like, that's a lot more than I actually did.
Yeah. He got most of it and then he went a little bit more.
Yeah.
And therefore missed the boat entirely.
And do you feel he has a begrudged admiration for Carl?
Yes.
Oh, he seems to be a person that wears his disdain for the bureaucracy that he serves on his sleeve. So I feel like he knows his job and what he has to advocate for, but at the same time, he's like, props to Carl for what you keep managing to do, damn it.
And just a hot take, I kind of want a spinoff of Orin stories.
Just Orin having to deal with like Lucia Marr and all this other shit.
I want more stories of like Orin in that room with other crawlers who have done bad shit.
Right. Oh, that would be an awesome, just a side book that's just all the Orin cases.
Yeah, it's like 12 different 12 different Orin files. Would be fucking great. And they can build on each other in a natural way, have a cool payoff.
Well, in this circumstance, they are dealing with the ramifications of the Gate of the Feral Gods. Essentially, it's on administrative hold. They even dangle it in front of Carl, and I guess if he had touched it, he would have lost it because it would have been violating some rules that Carl didn't even know about.
Orin tried as hard as he could to get Carl to touch it because we learned that if he touched it, it would get taken away immediately. Right. It would immediately just fucking blip out of existence.
Yeah, that whole slick move of like handling them and then setting them on the table at the very edge where they could fall off, which would activate somebody's just sense of like, oh, let me catch that before it goes. And Carl's too smart for him to like, I'm not touching those things.
I mean, I don't know if Carl necessarily comes across as having like a lot of book smarts. He has a lot of street smarts.
Yeah.
And this is a pure example of when you're in trouble, you assess the situation, but you keep your hands where they are.
Well, it's a lot of seeing or get an instinct of what somebody is trying to manipulate you into doing.
Right.
And you're just like, yeah, whatever you want, I'm not doing that. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. It could be good for me, but you want that, and I'm staying away.
Ain't giving it.
Yeah.
I mean, he makes an interesting call where he says, I want a lawyer. And this is where we get a fascinating flash forward, I guess, sequence where we don't get to see the rest of the resolution of how that scene transpired.
Yeah, we kind of skip the rest of the scene.
Which, for me, that's always exciting.
It's a dramatic trope.
It's a dramatic trope, and it works on this guy.
I don't want to hear about why.
I'm not going to point out a reason why.
I don't want to know what it remards you of.
Yeah, it's too late. It's in your head anyway.
I don't like it for that very reason.
Let's get down to it. So we Carl moves forward in time, and now he's going to do class selection. This is done in a Superdome. It seems like it's a big stadium. It's probably the testicle of a dog, for all we know. They gotta do some class selection, and he's already hearing from Katya and from Donut, who've made their choices. They had to go through this big long line. And Carl's presented with a couple different options.
Wait, is that where Donut is like, I already got to choose mine. It's great.
Yeah.
Katya says he'll be mad.
And with good reason.
Yeah.
Because she chooses a singing class.
Yeah, she chooses a
bard.
Yeah, a bard class.
Mm-hmm.
It's just funny because I think every instance throughout the next few chapters, you only get a little glimpse of what her singing is. Like we get to hear in the audiobook, at least, Jeff do a little jaunt jaunty singing here in one point and a little bit of another one here and there, and they sound terrible.
Yeah.
But we're left with the impression that she's doing this all the time, and everyone fucking hates it.
Yeah, Katya's like, everybody's already heard her sing.
Like, I think, Carl says something about, like, have you heard her sing to Mordecai? He's like, yeah.
Carl, I'm a legendary diva!
So what is it that Carl gets? I wrote it down here.
Agent Provocateur.
Agent Provocateur.
Yeah, even though Mordecai wanted him to choose a melee class, he goes, sorry, Mordecai, I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Something that can increase his production of bombs. I mean, that seemed like the no-brainer. Like, of course he was going to choose that.
Right.
Yeah, Carl's really leaning into, he just wants to be a bomber boy.
He's a mad bomber.
Yeah. There's a point later in the book where they announce the different players in the top 10 and their new rank. And when Carl's gets announced as Agent Provocateur, we see Brittany's in the room and she laughs about it. Brittany, the Russian. I was curious about this. I looked it up. Agent Provocateur is a lingerie brand. So she's laughing about that. It's a high-end lingerie brand, and she came from the world of being and getting plastic surgery. Mm-hmm. That's where we first met her.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's why she kind of gives a laugh about it.
Which is funny because I just seen that, but I was like, where did I just see that? And that's what it was.
Your Google search.
Yeah.
Google's always listening. They're like, oh, you want some lingerie? What? I don't. No,
I was like, when it came up, I was like, I don't understand what. All right.
No, show me ads for bombs. Bomb making.
It's really hard to retain stuff when you're in your Spank Bank folder.
There's another little moment where when there's a couple moments I want to point out. When Carl's waiting in line, he meets a guy named Ajib, the Prodromoi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but this is a guy who has only one leg. He's going and fist bumping everyone in line.
Oh, yeah.
He meets this guy, Ajib, and Carl sees he only has one leg. The guy's like, yeah, it was rough trying to get out of the bubble. We barely made it. Mm-hmm. And Carl immediately sees this, and he goes, if you want, I can make you a leg, like a prosthetic leg, which I thought was a nice little beat for Carl. But I was also kind of curious, what's a prodromoi? So I looked it up, and it's Greek for forerunner, which was a light cavalry scout in the Greek days, I guess, who would check ahead for...
Back in Greek time?
Back in the Greek days.
Ancient Greece.
Greeks.
Remember when Greece was a thing?
Yeah. The days of yore. They still around?
John Travolta and all that.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that one was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else I looked up? Der Kirchenbommen Bar. Do you know what that is?
No.
I thought you might because of some of the roots of the German word in beer.
Oh, okay.
It's the cherry bombs. That's what the bar is.
Oh,
that's
okay.
All it was.
All right.
Okay. Because they're always like kind of something like sexual, I thought.
Yeah.
It's just the cherry bombs.
Oh, no, it was only in Humptown where everything was sexualized.
That makes sense.
Because it was Humptown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You pointed that out.
Yeah. There's a few stats that we got. There's 85,000 crawlers at this point. 85,000, technically 223 crawlers. There's 360 hunters currently, but they anticipate more coming in before the hunters are released. There's like a 30-hour waiting period before the hunters can be released to start hunting all the crawlers. And they're in a city called Zakow. But because of the events from Book 4, where they flooded Larakos on the 9th floor, they anticipate a lot more of the people that are on the 9th floor coming up through, the Desperado Club? Is that they can go up the staircase there and they can come up the 6th floor? So they anticipate more people going up to the hunting grounds because they need to gather more equipment for whatever the battle is called on the 9th floor.
The Faction Wars.
Faction Wars, right. I forget what book... That one of the early books where they first got to the Desperado Club for the first time, and he saw all those different doors, and one of the doors there was a door to Larakos, I believe. So I think that would be the one that connects to wherever they are now.
Carl has to enter a spank booth. I don't know what they're called. It's
that's it. Okay, so he meets Ian before that. Right?
Ian the bush elf.
Yeah, there's a bush elf attendant who turns out to be a crawler, and he
had been a crawler.
Yeah, he had been a crawler, and now
He even said he was like a human crawler, and he had a brother.
Right, and his brother was also a crawler and got killed by Vra, a mantis, who is always at the hunting grounds.
Yeah.
Like she's always
shows up
She's a hunter every year. She's just kind of addicted to it.
She's a praying mantis. We later learned she's actually the grand of the city of Zakow, which means she killed the mayor there, and she took over as the new mayor of the town.
Mm-hmm.
So she has control of the guards and everything. So we've already established her as a villain threat,
right?
Of the hunters. But Ian the bush elf, he told this story about how he was a crawler, and then he got, I guess part of his.
Didn't he take the deal?
His deal was that he has to be part of the crawl. I thought that if you die, you get regenerated, but his brother didn't. I
think his brother like got killed while they were crawlers.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway.
Yeah.
This was Matt's opportunity to make fun of the emo theater kids with his bush elf. It's always funny what new like little group he's like, I just want to make fun of these people real quick.
The bush elf was an emo theater kid that got, swallowed up by the real world.
Yeah.
I forget.
And now he works in cubicles and
they used to work at the Jamba Juice or whatever, the smoothie place.
Yeah, they got like all these dreams of like rebelling and being something great, and that just gets snuffed right out by the world.
So Carl enters into the selva, which is Spanish for the jungle. And they're waiting. He's waiting through the jungle to try and meet up with Donut and Katya. And this is where he encounters these giant mushroom guards called funeral bells.
I really like that name for a mob.
Yeah.
Funeral bells, cool.
Yeah, it's a real poisonous mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
And these things are like these, what he said, like 12-foot tall mushroom men that are level 90. They're like a legit threat. And while he's kind of walking past them, remarking on that and looking at this small German town that's now covered in jungle, like the jungle's kind of reclaimed this land. I guess what we're seeing is it's the same world from floor 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now covered in jungle. So is it like moving ahead in time? Like it's the same, like we're getting parts of the story at different time periods?
I think that's the implication. I think it's just as they go deeper in level, like every 3 floors they've established is somehow thematically connected or story connected for everybody in
that world.
The crawl.
So do you think it's moving, or they just built replicas and this is where it looks at this point?
I think it's just like a different instance of that floor.
Oh, okay.
It's a replica of this story of this land from like that they all have like some shared mythology.
Yeah.
I think Mordecai says in one of the early books that this is a story that never came to Earth, but everyone else, all the other aliens seem familiar with what the 3rd floor, 6th floor, 9th floor, 12th, 15th, 18th is telling this story of.
Okay.
And it seems to be tied to a land that eventually was attacked by a 9-tier attack of something called Scolopendra, which, if you look that up, it's like a centipede creature.
Right.
But within the context that we know, I don't know. It's a little bit mysterious what that means. Anyway, when Carl's checking this out, he's entering the city. He suddenly sees both these level 90 badass guards just drop over to the side.
Yeah.
Topple over and kind of break apart a little bit.
They're paralyzed, and Carl gets immediately attacked.
By invisible things.
By invisible animals that can bite you and paralyze you. They're little creatures.
What, night weasels or something?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, something like that.
I bet I wrote it down here.
But they petrify you.
Yeah, they not only petrify you, they have like really sharp teeth and they can bite. Yeah, night weasels. They can bite and kill you. This seems like a legit, extremely dangerous creature. He's like far beyond what these creatures should be able to do.
Yeah, he's like 4 steps out of the porta potty.
Yeah.
And immediately is in a life-threatening situation.
I mean, it's a good reminder that at the end of the last book, he basically called out all of the hunters and said, "Bring it on. I'm going to kill all y'all."
Right. And they said, okay.
Yeah, and challenge accepted. They're gunning for him, which we're going to see throughout these chapters here that he's made a target of himself for all of the hunters, which do you guys think that this is him trying to be the sole target so that they don't attack other crawlers, or is he's just so angry he wants to fight them himself?
Well, I think he's feeling his thought process is, if I draw them to me, not so much I'm sparing everybody else, but if they're all right here coming at me, it's easier for me to get to them.
I think he's really high on his victories from the last floor.
Yeah.
Big victories. And it's getting him closer to his goal of killing them. He might be a little bit
in over his head.
Yeah. A little confident.
Yeah.
Well, we see it a few times, right?
Yes, yes, we do.
He messes up multiple times already in these first few chapters where he has these delusions of grandeur of how he's the big bad that everyone else should be afraid of, and he has to get his ass saved right here in this one.
Right, he's barely stepped on the floor, and he's got to get saved.
He's a dead man.
Has to have his life saved. Where were it not for Donut, he'd be dead. He'd be out of it.
Dude, first 9 chapters, he has to get saved twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, not even just a little saved,
no,
but a lot saved.
A lot saved.
Yeah, so here Donut comes to, Donut's got the glasses. She can see the invisible animals. She starts blasting them. She's like Danny DeVito. She just steps in. She starts blasting. And then...
I'm sorry, Danny DeVito.
That's a Always Sunny reference. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I come in, I just start blasting.
Okay,
You guys know that one?
There's that early thing where he just like pulls out a gun every time he's on the camera.
Yeah.
Just start blasting. And then Chris pops up. It's kind of cool to see Chris. He comes in, picks up Carl and drags him away from the situation.
I'm still getting used to Chris being Chris.
Yeah, right.
Because when I'm reading and he shows up, my first instinct is, oh shit.
Yeah, he's like, oh no,
it's a threat. I'm like, oh yeah, he's cured now. Okay.
But we've gotten to see how much of Chris being cured. One scene of him going thanks, and then this is the next time he sees him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good point. Especially like, I think, having read more of the books, like I just take it for granted. Like, oh, it's Chris, but yeah. You should have your hackles up when he shows up. He gets pulled into the safe room, and this is where he sees Mordecai.
Yeah, he starts like he's fully petrified, and they pull him in, and he's like he's got some debuffs and stuff, and he starts coming to, and the first thing he sees is Mordecai standing on his chest and starts laughing. And to be fair, I started laughing too the first time I heard Mordecai's voice on this level.
Yeah, because we hear him talk before we get to this scene, and you're like,
what's going on?
What's going on with Mordecai? but just from the voice, you're like, whatever it is, it's not good.
I was about to try and replicate it, but no, I'm just gonna play it for you guys because I'm not gonna do it justice.
You had to go and challenge all the hunters. Now look what happened, Mordecai said, trying to sound angry. And that doesn't look like a melee class to me. I burst out laughing.
Yeah, well, plus he's using some kind of pitch modulator, so you can never match that.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe he isn't.
He might not.
It's
chameleon. That's
true.
It's bonkers when you go, No, you must have been using something, right? We'll have to ask him next time. But yeah, he's a level 50 pocket Kuma, which is described as this. It's a cross between like a bear, a capybara, all bred down to like a sugar glider, down to the cutest little creature that they could kind of imagine.
With buck teeth.
Like Mogwai or Mowgli.
Munchie-Chi.
Yeah, look up Munchie-Chi.
For all of you who are familiar with Labubus, we used to have those in the 80s. Yeah. They were called Monchichis.
Yeah.
And they were just as hideous.
Some might argue more so.
I would argue. I hate the Monchichis. I thought that was so funny, though, that they reference Monchichi in here.
I've never heard anybody say, I hate the Monchichis.
I hate the Monchichis.
I don't blame you. It is when everybody's laughing, he's like, all right, laugh it up. Get it out of your system. It's like, that's going to take a long time, man.
Yeah, because Katya shows up and she's like, "Hey, is everything okay?" And sees that Carl's laughing and she starts laughing.
Then Matt describes that Mordecai goes over to the door and can't reach the handle, so he has to keep jumping to reach it. It's so cute.
I was like, boy, they really fucked him over this time.
Yeah, he's like a 2.5 foot tall Munchie.
Just another baby Yoda for us. I want to see this in live action as well.
It really diffuses every time he's trying to yell at everybody.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, and I know I'm jumping ahead here, but the other thing that diffuses it when he starts yelling at everybody is, now Donut is like, okay, before you do that, why are you doing this shit this time, guys? I'm just going to nip that in the butt and answer all your questions.
Oh my God. When Donut just lays into him, knowing beat for beat
what he's going to say.
Yeah. It's so great.
She sounds like she's quoting you doing your Mordecai impersonation. Well, why are you doing that? Don't go over there.
I thought that when I was listening to it too.
No, I'm not going to leave him. I know you think he's a threat. We're going to talk about things going forward. Yeah.
But yeah, just having that and doing that to a Monchichi.
You're like, okay, fine.
Yeah, great.
They have a knock at the door, and you shouldn't have a knock at the door of your safe space normally.
Yeah.
And Katya's like, what's that? And Carl gets to say, that's collateral. And that's where we get a flashback to the scene with Orin, where now we're talking with a new character, Quazar. I gotta ask you, what do you think of Quazar?
What do I think of my new favorite character of the series?
Listen up, you motherfucker.
I was like, oh, it's a gray alien Joe Pesci as a lawyer. This is awesome.
This is exactly what I was dreaming for in this next book.
Oh, man. I mean, he's like, when he says to Carl, "Your ball's deep in the wrong hole," and Mom's pulling up in the driveway.
And Carl goes, "What?
What does that even mean?"
I was like, oh, come on, Carl. You can imagine this one.
I just love when he keeps turning to Orin and being like, "This fuck."
Yeah.
Oh, you're not listening? All right.
Yeah.
It's just immediately, it's a sleazy Better Call Saul Goodman kind of lawyer that
have him on your side.
Yeah, this is the lawyer that Carl needs. He needs someone who's going to be that really acerbic and sleazy kind of weasel
who knows the system.
Yeah, who knows the system. And he's like,
when you're a criminal, you need a criminal lawyer. A criminal lawyer.
Yes, a lawyer who is also a criminal.
And Carl, takes once again Odette's advice and is like, well, what's in it for you? Why wouldn't you turn your back on me? I need to understand what your motivations are. And he's like, honestly, that's a good point. But he points out that he's essentially the stereotypical gray alien. They call themselves the Null or Nullians.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nullians.
But these are your typical gray aliens with the big black eyes. And he's like, look, we're some of the lowest class of the system. It's hard enough to get a job, and I get paid to fuck over these guys that I don't like in this system. So
that's payment.
That's my motivation. I'll work with you, and you might as well take me for what I am.
Also, I have integrity in my job, believe it or not.
Yeah, he does. And we believe he does, but he's also wearing like an alien hula girl tie.
He's tacky Saul Goodman.
Yeah, you're right.
He talks about the 4 lubricants of the galaxy. They're blood, tears, taxes, and lawyers. They're the things that make the engine run, and he's one part of that.
Oh, you guys have lawyers on your world? Well, we're pretty much the same everywhere.
There was a pretty interesting part of this exchange where Quazar is trying to tell Carl like that he has leverage and why he's important right now, because he has sponsorship and entertainment value, and he compares him to Remix the Grand.
Yes.
And Remix the Grand is that that person who was frozen in that storyline in book 2.
Right. He was the I forget what the
they were bird people, right?
Yeah, he was like a bird person, but
he had the soul crystal, and he was like trapped and being used as like this husk of a corpse to generate the energy of the soldiers of the city or whatever. And his was like this tragic tale. I would have to go back and listen to what we talked about to try and even understand what else was even going on there. But this is just a legendary crawler, I guess. And they bring him up a couple times, which I thought was interesting callback.
Yeah, especially in regards to that Zazura spell that we still don't know anything about 9 chapters in.
Right. So part of what Carl realizes, he has to give up the gate, or else they're gonna either accelerate or kill him or something bad to him and his friends if he doesn't give it up. But he's like, at the same time, I can negotiate with them and get collateral. And one of the things he negotiates for is that he can have 4 mercenaries added to his team on this floor, and he gets 4 Cretans: Bomo the Sledge, very sullen, and Clayton. Is this the first time seeing Clayton?
I'm not sure.
Gosh, we were talking about them because you guys are the ones who pointed out that their names are based off the band members of U2.
Right.
And I mentioned Adam Clayton, but I didn't know if that threw me off as to whether he was mentioned before.
Yeah, he might be brand new this time.
I feel like he was brought in like we should have known about him already, so that's why I guess we missed it maybe.
But yeah, I know like Bomo on the Sledge were Carl and Donuts security detail. Very sullen, I believe, was Katya's.
Oh yeah,
and Clayton is for Chris.
Yeah, maybe.
He kind of sidles up with Chris.
Probably right. Yeah.
So he secures extra security for his other teammates, one for each of the 4 of them in the party currently. And we know that Chris and Katya are going to depart, but that still leaves him with Bomo and the Sledge. Bomo has this ability to teleport to stairwells.
Yes. And there's a really long cooldown on that. And it's like a 30-day cooldown or something?
25 days.
Okay.
I want to say.
Yeah, but I guess the thing that's important is like, why would they allow him to have this collateral? Well, why would they not just say, well, just keep him and we'll keep the gig to the feral gods? But they've loaded him with spells that they don't want Carl to be able to use when himself past this floor.
Right.
So that's what gives all that much more value.
So yeah, he only has a one-time use essentially on floor 6 because there's like a 17-day level or something like that. And it's like a 25-day cooldown, so you can only use this once. So he's probably gonna save it to the very end.
I'm laughing because he uses it immediately.
He uses it.
He's like, fuck it, I need you to do this right now.
Not even 5 hours in, he uses this thing.
Oh, insane. This guy's a chaos goblin.
Yeah. I mean, a big part of his strategy and what makes him successful is that he doesn't do what everybody expects.
No, and not when anybody expects either. It's just wild.
So I don't know what Zazura is. I know that the Sledge has this spell, and that Quazar was like, look, if you ask for this spell, everyone loves this spell. Good guys, bad guys, the power structure, everyone, because it causes chaos, they'll say yes. I guarantee it.
It causes carnage.
Yeah.
And everybody loves carnage when it isn't happening to them.
So Don't know what it is, but I did look it up. From what I could tell, Zazura was the name of a 2017 Nigerian Western film, which is about a man searching the desert for this mythical oasis. I don't know, because I don't remember what the spell does. And I was like, maybe this leads to it, but this is...
Does it get explained? Or isn't that the thing that when Katya asks, what is that spell? Like him and Katya had this thing going back and forth where he asks her a question, and right before she answers, she goes like, hey, what's that right there?
Yeah.
And then right before he answers, there's some kind of interruption. Like
she asks him about it twice in the same conversation, and he gets pulled away somewhere else.
Right.
I think not going to tell us.
I think the first time he gets pulled away, but the second time, the scene cuts off before we hear it. Yeah.
So whatever it is, when it finally shows up, it's going to be pretty badass.
Yeah.
Because they haven't let us know.
I remember what it is, and it's badass.
Yeah. Is it? Okay. Yeah. Again, clueless. But someone said in one of the comments to us something along the lines of, man, I kind of wish that you guys would like do more like speculating and Easter egg stuff. And I was thinking, oh, you just got to wait till we get to book 7, because once we're past the point of me having to be concerned about spoilers with you, I'm gonna, you guys are gonna have to be like, please stop. Here's what I think this might be.
I think that once we get further into the series, I can imagine us doing some like wrap-up episodes that aren't just tied to chapter readings. You know, where we're talking about the series as a whole or books as a whole. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Concepts and theories and all sorts of yeah. All right, let's jump back in. We don't know what these spells are going to be. There's a little bit of dawdling where there's this chapter of I mean, I think they're trying to point out that like Carl's getting tired. Carl's maybe getting a little bit insular, and he's perhaps not talking through his feelings. I think I read into this a bit with like other people are in the chatting with other people, and Carl always seems like, oh, you guys are talking to each other?
Right.
Yeah.
Like he's left out there. I think that he talks in a later chapter about how he never is taking real time for himself to just relax. He's always like, even when he's like playing Frogger, he's writing lists in his head and planning. He's like, I just need to relax.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. My mind's racing.
He is in a dungeon that's trying to kill him.
He is. But it's sad because you see that he's probably retreating a lot into himself, and there's this fun and whimsy of the book and the surreal scenarios that are happening, but there's also this just sadness of what's going on with Carl, that he's losing himself.
Well, plus every time we do anything that reminds him of his past, of his growing up, it's really, really sad and traumatic. And the thing that's most traumatic about it is that it's a lot of stuff that he hasn't dealt with that is biting him hard.
Right.
And you're like, you know, all this with the dungeon is bad, but all this baggage he has, it feels like that's going to be the thing that might take him down.
Did you ever watch Adventure Time? Either of you?
Some.
Did you see the episode with the Ice King?
Yes.
Like where you learn his tragic backstory?
Yes.
There's this fantastic episode of a silly, playful show called Adventure Time, where there's this evil Ice King, but then you learn this tragic backstory that he's like this guy who nobly sacrificed his mind to save everyone. And the reason he's this villain now is because he did what he could for everyone else, and mainly to protect a little girl, but to protect everyone around him that he loved and cared about. And so now he's a joke to everyone. And there's parts of like what I'm seeing with this, like we're only seeing like this little trickle of it, but there's this river that Carl starts talking about.
Oh yeah, this rushing water.
Or this trickle of a stream, he says. And it's this detachment and this like pain that's there, and like maybe a losing of yourself. That just a little bit reminds me of the tragedy of the Ice King.
I didn't connect those things, but yeah, you got a good point going.
Yeah, because he's always talking about like how it's always there, and the only time he doesn't feel it is when he's relaxed.
Yeah,
and that's kind of harder to come by.
He's stressed. He needs to pop a couple Ambien and just mellow out.
Yeah, I don't know if you get to relax when you've challenged all the hunters. That's not really the formula.
Maybe the next floor is going to be nice and easy.
Yeah,
just like a little tropical paradise, Mai Tais.
Yeah, or when you take Ambien. Like, I mean, how many other opportunities do you have to wake up pantsless in a Walmart?
So we have, what's her name? Donut go off on a shopping trip while Carl's manufacturing some stuff and playing with this new bomb studio upgrade that he added.
Oh, yeah. He got a whole bomb room.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he wanted that Agent Provocateur class, was so that he could get this thing that in the cookbook was telling, like they were telling him that he needs this room for specific bombs that he really wants to make.
Yeah.
Because it can like image bombs.
And do simulations.
Yeah, that's great.
It seems so cool until you realize if this was a real thing, you'd be on a watch list immediately.
He pulls out for the first time since he gets it that Carl's doomsday scenario bomb.
Yeah.
And he's like sweating, putting it on the table, and he's like, oh, it's like shining on me like a sun.
Yeah. He's like, replicate this real quick. I'm going to put this right back in my inventory. Now I'm going to play around with the imaginary version or whatever. It's all imaginary, whatever.
Like drooling and I'm going to use this one day. I want to use this.
Just desperate. When Donut gets back, Carl's like, yeah, we're going to go look for some mushrooms for you. Mordecai, we're gonna go out on a little trip.
It's just a real quick jaunt outside.
And Katya's like, you're not gonna do something stupid. Trust nothing. Me? No, of course not.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, it's just a simple trip. In and out. No big deal.
And then we get this sequence that I remember the first time I read this. Holy shit.
Hold on. As they're walking outside, they're just talking. He's like, hey, could you do me a favor and just put Mongo away? Yeah, sure. Come on, Mongo. And then, why did I put Mongo away? Hey, teleport us over to Zakow.
Bomo, do it now.
Do it now. And she's like, what the fuck? He's like, don't worry, this will be quick.
Yeah, what'd you think here?
Well, Carl's our main character. So, whatever he does, it's got to be the right thing. We're following along with him. The way this plays out, yes, it is effective, but it is like, okay, man, you got to slow down.
Yeah.
This whole thing of like just going off on these plans on your own without checking with anybody, reckless, not checking in with the people, like not telling them your plan just because you don't want to hear them have objections.
Yeah, and he gets there, is like surrounded by traps.
Yeah.
Like everything is just wired up.
I mean, it seems like such a good idea. Like he sees this moment, this opportunity where the people in Zakow, all the hunters are locked there.
I think you're the only one in this room who thinks it's a good idea.
Well, I think it's an interesting opportunity. He knows they're locked in there.
Yeah.
And he realizes that there is a very dangerous threat that the Desperado Club within Zakow exists as a quick portal for those people to come attack them everywhere else on the grid,
right,
and kill a whole bunch of other people. And so he has his plan is kind of smart.
Yeah,
he has two parts to what he wants to do.
It's a great plan.
He wants to blow up the entrance to the Desperado Club, which is a success, and he wants to target the new mayor, which is the Mantis lady, Vra. He wants to figure out who the new mayor is, target them, and take over ownership of the city so he can just tell the guard to attack everyone else.
Yeah, to attack all the hunters.
And they'll have to fight them, and maybe some will die.
Right. Also, kill as many hunters as you can right there in one fell swoop.
If you're going to be a bomber, bomb.
It's a brilliant plan that he should not have tried to carry out with just him and Donut. especially with Donut in the dark about the whole thing.
Right. Well, he did have this really smart insight that people might be feeding the hunters information from people who are watching the show, right? Because, I mean, everything's being tunneled out in real time. So he kind of has to do it privately, unless he wants to, use his
what's wrong with using
the coffee shop author kit in the bathroom again?
Because that worked before.
Why couldn't he have just said to Katya and Chris, hey, does everyone have to take a shit right now? Do we all gotta go shit?
Yeah.
Let's go shit party.
Let's go. Just write it all down real quick. Like, what are you gonna do?
But it is an exciting sequence. Got to give it to him there.
Yeah.
It was such a good, tense sequence. And there's one part in particular that was shocking. And that is when he puts on the ring of divine suffering. And this might be the first time, like, correct me if I'm wrong here. Is this the first time that Carl legitimately kills someone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, because this is a no coming back, I'm taking your life versus I'm killing NPCs in a video game that get regenerated theoretically.
This isn't a mob or an NPC. This is an actual person.
Yeah. And he not only kills them, but the description of that sequence, he's relishing in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he talks about crushing in the chest.
Yeah.
He loves the feel of it.
Like a satisfying crunch.
And then repeatedly stomps the head till it crushes. Like, it's brutal. And the AI got what it wanted. Like, it got a little foot stomping.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, I thought that the juxtaposition between how Jeff narrated it and what's actually happening felt a little discordant in this sequence, because it's kind of gross and icky, but like Carl is saying stuff to Donut like, oh boy, okay, we gotta get out of here. Oh man. And like, meanwhile, he's crushing someone to death and going, I love it. Like,
yeah.
So I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't know.
Well, he has zero respect for the hunters.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
But it seemed like he's enjoying the kill versus recognizing the necessity of the kill.
It's especially interesting because later when he sees Katya talking about taking out Eva, and him and Mordecai look at each other like, I don't know, man, I think she's changed. And it's like, dude, what about you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a later point where they're talking to Miriam, Dom, and Prepotente, and looking at Donut. Carl's like, they're crazy. And I was like, you're crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's
You're
right. Yeah, he said,
yeah.
Looking at them like they're crazy and like, I don't know, these people are weird. It's like, everything's weird. Weird doesn't have a definition anymore.
But yeah, things do not go as planned. There's
explosions and there's rockets and he gets to use that ping spell.
Yeah.
Which is great. Yeah, he used it with those pet mobs in the beginning, the night weasels.
Yeah.
But this time he gets to use it around people who kind of know what's happening.
They know that they're being hunted by him. There's got to be something scary to it.
That is, have you ever seen the movie Das Boot?
Yeah.
There's that whole scene when like depth charges start falling.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what this felt like to me. Or just like some kind of weird submarine drama where the prey is just kind of sitting there and waiting to get killed.
Well, it's interesting because the ping goes off and you got some crawlers who are like, oh good, we know where he is, let's go get him.
Right.
And others who are like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, Carl was doing something interesting too with the ping. Like, he was trying to, because I guess when he pings everyone, he gets a list of everyone that's on the ping. And so he was trying to like rifle through this really quickly and find who looks like the highest level person, because he was hoping the highest level person equals the grand or the mayor of the town. So, because he wanted to flush them out and kill them. Instead, he gets the cousin of the mayor of Raw, this other lady, I don't remember her name, like Cassie or Kelly or something. I'm sure I have it written down here. But he gets that lady, and Cindy, but with an X.
Yeah,
right. Cindy.
He gets her. She's level 61 blood tracker. And he's like, she's coming after him. He is able to activate this other element of his toe ring, which when he marked, sorry, it's like so many layers to this. When he marked the drunk alien that he's about to kill with the Ring of Divine Suffering to death, he gets a debuff on him, which means that if he gets injured at all, he can't recover from that.
Right. Yeah, can't. And he can heal.
His ring on his foot allows him to share that same debuff to someone else. So he shares it right to her, and she's like, "Fuck, never mind, I'm getting out of here." Hightailing it. Yeah, and then he targets her with all the rockets.
The super spreader benefit.
Super spreader, yeah.
So it was a really good plan. It's just there was 10 too many hiccups in it that it goes ass over Tittleberry, and he ends up getting a couple harpoons in his back and shin.
I did like reading through all that and hearing Kickstart My Heart in the back of my head because that alarm trap goes off.
Oh, yeah.
And anytime that happens in a scene, the rest of the scene, that's the song that's in my head.
We have to make a little bit of a backtrack, and that's because Forkith is and does an entry into the cookbook. Oh, actually, I'm misremembering which one. Forkith is actually the person giving the whole layout and saying the city's different. Like it's kind of a different environment each time. It's always a jungle, but there's different monsters and creatures each time. It's actually a later entry. Let me see who it was. It's Everly in the next chapter gives a rundown in the cookbook about the mercenaries and hiring them, and that there's this issue where if a mercenary exits out of a certain safe room, they're stuck in that area. Whenever they leave your place, your safe room, they're going to exit there again if that's where they enter. And so you can like lose track of your mercenaries. This plays into a really cool idea Carl has, which we don't get to see the resolution of, I believe, in this section. But Carl has now set out a plan because he has Bomo run into a different safe room than the rest of them. And he's like, well, now if Bomo leaves, he's going to leave right back into Zakow.
Right. We can wire him up with bombs.
We can wire him up with bombs and we can explode the fuck out of them. It's a pretty cool idea.
It is.
So, and then this is the brilliance of running things by Donut. Donut's like, okay, but instead of just killing Bomo, why don't I do Clockwork Triplicate on him and have that bomber go out and explode? Then we don't lose Bomo right now. He's like, oh shit, you can do that?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Carl.
yeah, it's good to share your plans. Somebody else might have a better idea or a good enhancement.
So they set a bunch of bombs off and they retreat to the safe room in that area. And they feel the bombs go off, and it actually like throws them across the room. And Mordecai comes out like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" It's like, "Oh, we just we're doing some shit in Zakow." And he's like, "You guys are in Zakow!" hearing Mordecai get mad.
Why is he so mad all the time?
As a Munchichi is so funny. Mordecai's gonna do that. No, why the hell are you doing this? Just another part of like where Donut gets to make fun of him.
Well, when they do finally escape the into the Selva from Zakow, none of the hunters can follow them. But at this point, there's been enough of these harpoons that have pierced through.
Yeah, through his shoulder and his thigh.
So he's out for the count again. And this is the second time he has to get saved.
He's getting tons of debuffs.
Yeah,
and he actually falls into a coma. For like 30 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Not a long coma, but
a mild coma.
He falls into a coma.
Yeah.
Well, Miriam, Dom, and Pony, or are we allowed to call him Pony?
No, that's his special name.
His special name.
Prepotente, they show up along with Bianca. Is that the name of the big old crazy looking goat?
The demon goat.
Demon goat. They show up and we find out that they've actually been doing their own operation on Zakow where they were trying to amplify the inebriation of all the hunters, which is so fascinating because now you know that's why they're all drunk.
And it worked. It worked really well.
Yeah, it actually was to Carl's benefit. It could have been even worse had they not been there. But then they were trying to do something else to try and like hurt all of the
make them all fight each other, kill each other.
They're essentially like it might not have worked anyway. But Miriam Dom is now healing Carl, and this is where we actually get to see and interact with him a bit more. It was nice.
And as she heals him, like his health will go up and then it'll start dropping again because he's got like a blood trail debuff on him, which is terrifying. Apparently, like when you have that, you leave a stinky trail of like body fluids.
Yeah, so
that you can get that can be used to track you easily. And in the hunting grounds, like that sounds horrible.
That's a good skill to have to give someone a blood trail.
Right.
Yeah, man. If it weren't that you were bleeding out, essentially, you could use that to draw, to be your own bait.
Yeah, that too.
Carl gets to chat with Donut a little bit. Donut is concerned. She's been talking to Mordecai while Carl's been out, and she's concerned about him using the ring. She's like, "Did you use the ring?" He's like, "Yeah, I used it only on one guy." And she's like, "I'm afraid you're going to get addicted. I've already had to break you of cigarettes and chronic masturbation." Poor Carl. He seems to be talking to himself as a little bit of an aside of like getting desensitized to killing the NPCs as well. I think he's like talking about his justification. He's like, I don't really feel bad that all these NPCs are also dying as a result of like the explosions in Zakow. But he notices that he got someone killed. He got 34.
Yeah, 34 hunters.
Right. He's pretty thrilled about taking out 34.
He was thrilled that Donut had one. And she's like, you should probably check your notifications because
that's where we also like at the beginning of that chapter, right? When they go to Zakow, it's like hunters killed 0. And you're like, oh shit, it's going down.
It's funny. Listening to it the first time, I was like, wow, he got 34.
Yeah.
Going back through a second time, I was like, dude, it's only 34. Don't celebrate. There's still 1,000 left.
Yeah, you got a lot more. Because it was 34 of 360 essentially when he did that, but now they're like when he like gets back to the safe room, he's gonna learn that there's now a little over like 1,000 to deal with. So more of a threat. We get Prepotente. We get Miriam Dom. Miriam Dom seems like a sweetie. Prepotente maybe a little less so. What are your thoughts on Prepotente?
Well, he's a hyperactive child,
right?
With the emotional problems. But he was a goat before, so how much can you expect from him? He's doing pretty well for a goat.
Donut was a cat.
He was his mom's special goat, like the specialist goat.
Yeah,
in the group,
he's a special boy.
Yeah,
and he acts like it. He's a mama's boy. A little bit.
Yeah.
And
vampire mama's boy.
And Donut ain't always the most rational, emotionless one either.
No.
Prepotente is a forsaken aerialist. I got a chance to also ask Matt about what a forsaken aerialist was, and he was like, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
like, you'll figure it out.
Pull the Carl on you.
Yeah. Hey, what's this over here?
Yeah.
He's a forsaken aerialist that then upgrades to a profane vitiate.
Yes.
I had to look some of this up, and when I was looking it up, I came across an interesting theory from someone because aerialist like an acrobat person who's like spinning through the air. You can think of an aerialist like this, Cirque du Soleil or whatever. But the name is Saucy Dong V2 on Reddit. Giving you props, Saucy Dong V2. Wrote a theory that like an aerialist could also refer to an antenna, and a forsaken, an abandoned or forsaken antenna, if you think of it that way, is a person who's no longer in touch with a group. They are an outsider to maybe their people.
Okay.
And this person was thinking like, what if as a goat, he's tied to the caprids, but he's this satellite, like where he's like this abandoned piece, like almost like a sleeper cell that got away. And I thought that was just like an interesting, just fan theory, just throwing something out there.
That is cool.
And a vitiate is vitiate means to be corrupted or spoiled. So being spoiled and profane, this lost potential Manchurian candidate for the goat people, then being this like spoiled and corrupted one that they lost, and now it's gone a different direction than them. I thought that's just a fun theory.
That's cool.
But he's also a spoiled child.
He's also a spoiled child. It fits to that too. I'm sure Matt would just be like, no, what the hell are you talking about? It's definitely not that. It's definitely not that.
Him being a spoiled child, it doesn't feel like he's being manipulative. I think he feels those feelings.
Oh yeah. He's very much in his feelings.
Yeah.
He feels insulted by Carl and
constantly.
And he talks about Carl being like nothing, and he wants to fight Carl. And Carl's like, says, "Suck my dick, pony."
And he starts crying.
Yeah, he has a complete meltdown.
And it triggers him to cry. The whole sequence is so funny to me. Like Carl's laying there, like bleeding out to death, and this goat wants to start a fight with him, and he's like, "Suck my dick."
Yeah, suck my dick, pony.
Yeah. Hey, Carl,
He used my special
what are
name.
you doing? Well, he started it. Oh my God, what am I doing?
Well, because he's like, oh, there's a bunch of traps ahead. He's like, I can help with that. He's like, you can't. You're a dummy and all this other stuff. And he just activates that trapper skill, and all the traps go off. And yeah, it's a point of humiliation for Prepotente, but also he got insulted.
Yeah.
The Miriam Dom just treating it like two little kids fighting, and like, you guys gotta apologize and hug it out. Hug it out, bro.
Miriam Dom kind of filling the mom hole for Carl for a bit.
I don't like the phrase.
The hole in his heart.
Yeah, we'll go with it. Okay.
But that role,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy who lost his mom really early.
Mhm.
And now he's in a situation where he's being mothered by this stranger,
Stroking his hair, bringing him back to health.
and he's like, "Oh, this feels really weird, but it's really nice." And I don't know, like I felt like some kind of mother-son bond for a second in that scene of him being cared for in a way that he's not used to.
Does Miriam Dom come off as sexy to either of you guys? Because she does for me.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. I maybe a little bit.
Hmm.
It's more of like I'm curious about the homely countryside Italian woman who cares for goats that has made it this far. I think I just keep thinking like that's so fascinating. I want that journey. I want to see how they've come this far.
Yeah.
And like what went on with them.
They did. Carl did talk a little bit about how they've survived at this long, where like Miriam kind of hangs in the back and amplifies Prepotente's skills and strengths and stuff while he casts and stacks debuffs.
Oh, right.
On stuff. So it's like this weathering away of enemies.
Yeah, that's
over
how they
time.
beat the turkey.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, it's a fucking like a minor god, like a feral god.
The Miriam Dom and Prepotente, they get peppered with some questions from Donut about like, do you go on Audette's show? And they said they actually go on a very specific show called Plenty of Plenty, which I think, I could be wrong on this, I think the Caprids are, the alien race is called the Plenty?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I could either be misremembering that or that's a spoiler and that hasn't been told yet. I'm not even sure. But I think they're called the Plenty and the show's called the Plenty of Plenty. Anyway, they go on some goat show that they say is kind of weird.
In this scene, they say like the Plenty sees a lot of themselves in Prepotente, or like there's some kind of kinship there.
Yeah. And I guess they go on there where he has a whole bunch of siblings that get to come out and play. So it's like the opportunity.
Yeah.
To be with his siblings.
And they have treats and everything.
Yeah. A very different experience there. I think we have Zev pop up at one point and say, hey, we're really trying to get you into a different market. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we want to see if like you can resonate with the goat market. I guess.
That's the first time we also hear that all the other goats that Miriam Dom came in with, because she had like 15 of them or something.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just in her inventory now.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're still alive. They're still goats, and they're there with her.
The Caprids, maybe this is the Plenty, are the potential villains that were also talking to, what's her name? The lady who brainworm infected Chris.
Maggie.
Maggie. Like, she was talking to the Caprids, right?
Right.
So I also wonder, are they a threat to Carl here within like what they might have ulterior motives for how they want Prepotente to play this? Huh. Anyway, something to stay tuned to. We go to some bugbear town. We get to learn what bugbears are. I think I'm still confused as what a bugbear is.
Me too.
I think it's
of course
an
that name doesn't help because I keep picturing bug-like bears.
They even make a point of explaining to me, and I'm like, I don't know. I think it's
I don't know if
goblin.
I don't know if I could trust you.
I don't know. They go into a safe room, and it's a Whataburger. Were you guys so excited?
Yeah.
Whataburger popped up here.
Yeah.
Whataburger is a fast food brand that originated in Texas. So it's like In-N-Out for people on the West Coast, but
yeah,
or McDonald's for you Yankees.
And also, and not as good as In-N-Out.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
We have
Whataburger's not even as good as it used to be, and it's still better than In-N-Out.
We have a place called P. Terry's. That one.
Yeah.
That's our In-N-Out.
That's my spot. Yeah, there you go.
They go into this Whataburger, and Faraz, I think, it's like, what? You got Whataburger? Where is that? Can you go get me something?
Go get me some fries.
That's how I knew that Matt's probably never been to a Whataburger.
Because he wanted the fries?
It's like nobody wants the fries.
That's not
They're
true.
fine.
That's not true.
I literally live across the street from a Whataburger. In fact, I live across the street from one of the, I'm going to dox myself, from a very famous A-frame Whataburger.
That's right.
It's very picturesque. So you guys know now where to find me.
Yes, you're just across the street.
Oh no. So they go into this safe room, and I think this is where we get a lot of our upgrades. They get to finally open up all of these packs that they got, and this is where we see very interestingly what he gets for these 35 kills of these hunters.
Yeah,
and Donut gets 1 kill.
There's a bunch of money, and the money like goes up every box that he opens, like for all 35. Because he killed 34, but like the AI gave him an extra one just for fun of it.
Yeah. It's like, we kind of owed you one. So.
But each of the boxes also has a hand.
Yeah, the hand of the hunter that he's killed.
Yeah,
one hand, and every box the gold doubles.
Right.
So by the end, with those 34 boxes, it's like what, 500?
Almost 600,000. Yeah, 595.
Yeah, compound interest, people.
It's a good take.
Yeah.
Although Empress gets his cut.
Papa gets his cut.
The hands are like skee ball tickets.
Yeah. It was so like I again forgot about this. So I was like, oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird.
Skee ball tickets, and like I think one gets you a spider ring or like some plastic teeth.
This is where we learn for the first time what the Butcher's Masquerade is, and this is where I realized, I probably should have had us cut off at the end of chapter 8 for our first section, because it's a pretty good, like, now we know the title of the book is what that's referring to. The Butcher's Masquerade is going to be this party at the end of the floor, right before the 6 hours you can descend into the stairwells, that the top 50 crawlers +1, they can all bring a +1 with them, get to attend some gala, some ball, some masquerade.
Yeah. Along with the hunters.
And they're going to have
where you'll be safe. Really?
If you've ever worked in corporate America, you'll know these as the company Christmas party.
Yeah.
Where upper management will also be. That's pretty much the Butcher's Masquerade.
There's going to be dancing, a costume contest, a pet beauty contest, a talent show, and prizes. And Donut is besides herself. She wants to actually stop doing the rest of the floor and just dedicate it to like working on her talent show and Mongo's talent show.
Yeah, and all she hears is like, oh, pet talent show, I'm in. It's so grotesque. Like, it's such a grotesque idea. Like, we're gonna mingle with the people who came here to kill you and just have a nice time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's horrifying, and it's once again this detachment that the viewers have where they're like, oh, they're all just having fun in this game, and this is just entertainment for me. Like, what if all of them had to like have this little powwow at the end?
When we were talking to Matt Dinneman, writer of the book, he mentioned that he sees this series as being darker than Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon, which is really dark. But the tone of that book is much darker and more serious than this book. Scenes like this, like the idea of having to party out and have a good time with the people that are there to kill you, who paid money to go kill you.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing that reminds me that this is a horror movie at its heart, right? At its heart, this is a fucking horror story.
Yeah, it's as if the Nazis had a fancy party, but they opened it up to the people in the concentration camps.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to dress...
Kid Rock is going to play. It's going to be a fun time.
We're going to dress you guys up in nice clothes, and you get to come and hang out with all these Nazis.
We also learn about a couple of different other crawlers' upgrades to their class. Ellie is becoming a Tundra princess.
Oh, yeah.
This is interesting because Mordecai gets all excited. He's like, she went from frozen, from, what is that, ice, water, I guess, to doing land. Or no, is it seasons?
Yeah, it says something about 4 seasons.
He's trying to do the 4 seasons. And so he's like interested in like, I guess, how she's going to navigate these different classes if she can get, he's like, only one person's ever gotten 3 of them. But that's still always so exciting if she can do it. She'll be so insanely powerful.
And it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Like she'd have to be there till like floor 10 or 11.
12.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, we're probably going to wrap up before that, Martin.
You think so?
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be the last floor.
The next 4 books are this floor.
We also see the Popoff brothers. Briefly, this 2-headed nodling, and I believe each of them has their own separate class. But we see them in a battle with some other crawler, and they're calling this person a murderer, and they're trying to attack and stop this person before some the foot of Slit.
Oh, yeah.
The goddess lady from the previous book interrupts them, and this guy's able to escape down the stairwell.
Yeah, this was on a recap, I think. Yeah.
But it sets up these Popoff brothers as like having this moral conviction of trying to stop bad other crawlers. And it's kind of what we saw with Carl with Quan CH.
Oh, yeah.
In their battle.
Which he's now Sergeant at Arms. Although Donut says, shouldn't it be Sergeant at Arm?
Yeah, that was such an easy joke, but it made me laugh.
And then she won't even stop there. She's like, if you rip off his other arm, just be a sergeant. Just can't stop herself.
Yeah, everybody hates that guy.
I wanted to touch on this again because at the end of this chapter 8, this is where Carl's reflecting on the mental river into the back of his mind intensifying.
Yeah, that stream, yeah.
The stress and this pain or whatever it is. I don't know if we could tie this to his hot-headed anger streak as well, but part of me thinks this is related to him putting on that ring. Like it was after he used the ring that now he starts realizing there's this river in the back of his head, and he's like, I think it's always been there, but it seems to be intensifying. And is this like the addiction? Is this?
I never considered that, but I mean, that ring has been Chekhov's gun from the beginning.
Yeah.
And him using it the once, saying like, I only use it once. It's like, man, that sounds like what a junkie says.
Yeah, it does.
And the AI is like, I hope there's not any other unintended consequences, and it can be addicting.
You just crossed a line you didn't know was there.
Yeah.
So we conclude this chapter with a little bit of some updates. We now learned that there have been 34 crawlers killed. I think that's 35, right? Donut got one, and you got 34, 35 crawlers killed.
Hunter killed.
Hunters killed. The remaining hunters are 1,013. Crawlers are 83,995, I think. So a few of them probably stepped on something and died, whatever. And Katya is leaving. She's leaving the party. So we're kind of ending on a little bit of a down note with her, and she's taking Chris with her. They're going to leave the party and venture off. We now learned a little bit of, I think we already learned a little bit of information about like how the militia can kind of set up.
Right.
So they can kind of have a shared space.
Not a militia. It's
or what is it called?
I forget what it's called.
Guild?
Guilds.
A guild. They can have a guild set up so that they can have like a shared space for expanding how many people. But any of these really big parties that had like 100 people, they're like the AI is like, we're just breaking that shit up.
Yeah.
You
Limit
can't
is 30
anymore. You humans sure like to bond together. We're not having that. So they're all there's a lot of breaking apart, and this is a way to make money. It feels like capitalism at its finest.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a way to make money. And this is also where we got a little bit of that BOMO being a bomb plan that they were setting up. Like, we're going to have you exit there. And Donut's like, well, hey, we could do triplicate if we get there. Oh, but Donut also is like, hey, we don't blow up our friends, Carl.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a kind of a cute moment where she's like, she loves Bomo.
Yeah, she loves everybody.
But Bomo's like cool with it. He's like, kind of excited about this plan.
Bomo's like, yeah, let's do it. And so they set about a plan that if they can make it to the next town and the next safe room in 3 hours, they can try and do her plan for doing a clockwork triplicate on Bomo and making a suicide bomber of one of the Bomos. That's where we leave off.
Yeah.
It was it's fun to be back in the books.
Yeah, it's a bit of a journey, this one so far.
Yeah, and where we started out, where Carl's been very vulnerable. He's put himself in this position, but it's where before it was like, man, he's got it going. Can't wait to see what he does next. Now it's like, yeah, Carl, I got my fingers crossed for you, buddy, but it's not looking as good as it did before.
He's tripping, he's making mistakes. It felt like in the first few books Carl could do no wrong. But it's nice to see that he has at least built a support system of other people who have his back. It's just now unfortunate that like Katya and Chris are leaving.
Right.
So he's gonna have to lean a bit more heavily on Donut and Mordecai.
Yeah, it's also as the stakes get bigger, as the bad guys get stronger, the mistakes have bigger repercussions. And we see that here in these first few chapters where really like any little misstep got him in a coma, so there's a point of adjustment, I think, that he didn't really allow himself to go through on this floor before he started acting like a crazy person.
But there's something very exciting about a guy who's brimming with rage being able to channel that quite righteously at an awful group of people, these hunters, and I have that bloodlust as well.
Of course.
Get them. Get those motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, whittle them down.
Just, bloodbath. Folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here for our part 1 of The Butcher's Masquerade, Book 5, we have a homework assignment for you. That's going to be chapters 10 through the end of 19.
You're welcome.
Chapters 10 through the end of 19. You were in for something good there, at least according to Rubio. You're pretty... I'm going to read through and like, shit, we needed 20. Through the end of 19, read all the way through there and see if you can even stop yourself there or if you're going to cheat and go a little bit further. And we want to give a shout out on patreon.com to some of our supporters. That includes Andrew Kogan, Aldo Necco, Kristen Belvedere, Odin's Eye, Chris Dandry, Christian Castanon, Gilbert Sanchez, Jillian, Noel Mead, Ryan, and Ryan. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, all of you listeners who have also been there supporting and sharing the show. We do really appreciate that. It's time, guys, for our Death Watch Extreme Dungeon.
Of course.
Death Watch.
So... Glurp, glurp. We got 3 people we're checking in on this week. First off, Aldo Necco, our level 31 now, Barbarian Thickermancer, upgraded his class and just decided to remain a thickie. He's still a Barbarian Thickermancer, nothing changed there.
Nice.
He ventured out into the jungle and came upon a nice village in the jungle. There he found these tall mushroom guards. He inspected funeral bells, they call themselves. That's interesting. They were so still and stoic. They reminded him of those British guards, those beefeaters, is that what they're called? He was so amused by them. He kept waving at them, trying to get them to give a reaction. He circled them a few times, kind of just gently nudged into him. It's just like a tourist. He was very amused.
Like an asshole tourist.
Maybe like an asshole tourist. As he was kind of circling them, he looked down and he actually saw something shiny on the ground behind him. Was that a treasure box? Huh. So he knelt down and he started trying to excavate. He was digging around and pulling and pushing dirt and moving stuff around. And as he was bent down digging in the dirt, he started unearthing it. It looked like it was about to come out. He heard a voice behind him. A very distinct voice. An almost Patrick Warburton voice. He's like, wait, is that the guy I've seen on the top 10 crawl? Is that Carl? He was so excited. He turned and tried to look, and as he was turning, suddenly one of the funeral bells tipped, and it fell over paralyzed and crushed him to death.
Aww.
Why did I miss that in the book?
We never saw that was happening right there in the scene.
Oh,
it was an Aldo Necco
hidden chapters. Okay, yeah.
And the camera was just a little too high to see that part.
I was there too. You know that podcast? I was there too. Meanwhile, Andy Kogan, a level 29 trash panda dumpster diver, appeared back into existence in a different jungle. And once again inside his purple balloon. Alongside 3 other balloons that contained crawlers. They floated in the air, once again tied to the wrist of this little girl, who was standing there in the jungle looking around for a moment. There in front of them was a village, and behind it looked like a porta potty? They must have just exited into this world. The girl suddenly turned and took off to the right, running deep into the woods, with them in tow.
Just runs off into the woods?
What is going on? They ran further and further. He thought, this must be the 6th floor. How long was he out for? Was this just the start of the floor? After what seemed like a few miles of being dragged through the jungle, they came to a ravine with a pretty steep drop-off of about 50 feet into a dangerous-looking rushing river. What are you giggling so much for?
Because I know what it's gonna be now.
Do you?
Okay, keep going.
I don't know. Okay. The girl looked from the river up to the balloons, switching between them, trying to pick one. Then her creepy little eyes locked eyes with Andy Kogan. And she smiled and pulled his string down close to him, and in a sing-song voice said, "Only 2 more for you." He only just realized as she pulled his balloon face to face with her that he must only be like a foot tall inside this balloon. He's like, what the hell? How big am I? How did I not realize? He said, "What are you doing? Let me go." And she says, only 2 more. And she plucked the tail of the balloon and like popped it. He goes, what was that? But as he asked, he already felt it. His head began to swell.
Oh, no.
Oh.
It rapidly, in fact. His head got bigger and bigger, much bigger than the rest of his body.
Okay, that's not where I thought.
Much bigger than the balloon itself. His head grew and grew, and he began lifting higher into the air. Oh, it hurt. What the hell? His head wouldn't stop growing. He looked down to see his head was acting as a massive helium balloon.
That's the step right before somebody starts a podcast.
Carrying the girl and the other balloons across the wide ravine. His head still continued to grow, larger and tighter and larger. His eyes were bulging. His nose just ached. They reached the other side of the ravine. He felt like suddenly it was going to burst. And then he did.
Oh. Okay.
I thought she was just going to like turn it lead again and then just slam him down into the ravine.
No.
Something else with this balloon.
Fucking body horror.
Meanwhile, a newcomer, Kristen Belvedere.
Yes!
A level 40 dark elf backyard conquistador.
Okay.
Was on the run.
Backyard conquistador?
Her idiot teammate had been experimenting with her new firework abilities and shot a Roman candle out into the jungle. And then came the roar. Out from the jungle came a goddamn dinosaur. Shit. Where was her repellent? She looked through her inventory as she was running. Damn it. I think her teammate had taken the repellent. Now she was running for her life from this massive, what is it, an Allosaurus? I don't even know what these are. She came to a wall in the woods. There was nowhere to run. She turned to face the dino. She pulled out her flaming spatula and her shield of pestilence. This wouldn't save her. She looked up as the massive jaws came chomping down.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right.
That's it from our 3 latest contestants on Death Watch Extreme Dungeon Mayhem. Thank you so much for your support.
Well, better luck next time.
Better luck next time, guys.
I am glad that you got to work in dinosaur repellent into one.
Yeah, good. Dinosaur repellent.
And an allosaur. Nobody uses those anymore.
I wasn't going to go with a traditional stegosaur. I don't know if those are even intimidating. Folks, once again, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna read chapters 10 through the end of 19, and we will see you back in a week. And until then, get out there and read.